Happy Valentine's Day from everybody and up front with Frank Rothstein to all of you. Hello, it's me. Sitting with me as always, wearing her Valentine red t-shirt in her ever increasingly redecorated home studio with new buttons and light rings, and it looks like a little stool and all this good stuff. And she's even added a door to get in and out. It is now the escapable Jade Zabrick. Hello, Jade. How are you today? Well, it's been an interesting week. And before we even start, guys, did you take care of Valentine's Day? Did you muck it up? Did you screw up? Did you remember to go for a flower? Did you remember to go for a piece of chocolate, make her feel a little special? Girls, guys, for your girls and your guys, all of you, no matter what mix you are of relationship, did you remember to take care of the other person? This doesn't matter. Don't be cheap. Take care of the other people. It's not too late. You can still go for dinner. You can still pick up a nice little bottle of wine. You can do a lot of things and say, Happy Valentine's Day. I love you. Well, that's my holiday promotion for the show. Anyway, everything is going pretty well on the show these days. Letting you all know we're on Sky's Crescent Radio, SKYES. Well, if you see us on YouTube, yeah, here we are. Once again, please hit the subscribe button. Believe me, every subscription coming in makes me get a little bit better. Yes, your subscriptions help. Also, pick a show you like and hit a like button, hit a comment, say hi. We're also live on Facebook at the Upfront with Frank Rothstein page, also on the Skies Crescent Radio page. Also, we can be heard on a million different .coms like iHeart, skiescrescentradio.com. Of course, we're on Spreaker.com. We're all over the place, just like weeds. This is like a weed of a show. We're all over the place. We crop up everywhere, out of the ground. So how was everybody's week? How did everybody do? You watching the Olympics? Excuse me, Darjeeling. Everybody watching the Olympics? Did you watch the Super Bowl? Did you have a pick, a win? Did you bet on the game? Well, I didn't place a bet, but I told everybody to take the Bengals plus 4.5. And of course, there's always going to be some stupid penalty that helps out. And sure enough, there was a penalty that no one called, the obvious face mask early in the game, which allowed the Bengals the big first down. So I let them get a touchdown. Anyway, the Bengals won. They covered the spread. It was, of course, a big halftime show. I couldn't watch anything, actually. I was busy turning my head back and forth. I had the Super Bowl on television. I was streaming the Olympics on my computer. Yes, this one I'm looking into right now. I was watching everything. I should have focused on one because I saw nothing last night. But I am keeping up with what's going on with the Olympics because, well, this is sort of interesting. And that's because, well, the action's been great. Matter of fact, on the downhill skiing, the ladies Super G, bang, she went flying off that course. But outside of it, everyone's wondering what's going on with the Russian figure skater, Kamila Valieva. She has been cleared to compete in her figure skating. Matter of fact, most of the time, the big event in Winter Olympics is figure skating, ladies figure skating. And she's going to be allowed to continue, even though it came out that she was taking some banned substance. She was taking it, she got tested positive in December. She's a 15-year-old kid. She was taking something, I'm not even going to go into the medical, but it was something that allows the heart to beat properly, whatever it does. But in the perfectly healthy, it could allow her to perform at a higher heart rate for a longer period of time. And this is the same athlete that made that big quad jump, the big spin from last week. Yeah, she did it effortlessly. Now, came out that in December she tested positive. And there's been a debate, should she compete, should she not? The usual argument. And it turns out today she will be able to compete unless something changes. And that's because, well, I don't know. But of course, they went for the hearing. And one of the defenses were it'll cause her unusual trauma. It'll be the trauma levels to it. Well, she's 15. It's enough that she's 15 doing this on a stage like this. Now, I don't know where she's getting whatever substance she took, whatever pill she took, drink she took to help her heart rate. She's 15. If she has a bad heart condition, she shouldn't be in the Olympics. But evidently, whatever they gave her allowed her to do whatever it is, or supposedly, I should say supposedly, because I'm not sure, allowed her to do what, to go on at supposedly a higher rate, a better rate. Before I go any further with it, I want to be clear about this. You can take any drug you want, any PD, any steroid, you could drink as much orange juice or pop open as many cans of spinach as you want. If you don't have the abilities, you won't be able to do what you're supposed to do. I used the perfect example of baseball, where people take steroids, they take some sort of a performance enhancing drug, and too many home runs. Well, yeah, but you better have a good swing, because if you don't know how to hit that ball, you're hitting very hard ground balls and you're still going to be just as out. So yeah, this is what's going on in the Olympics right now. The big debate is why is she being allowed to compete at all? That's a very good question, one I cannot answer. Why is this girl allowed to compete at all? Matter of fact, why isn't the entire team being pulled in right now to have all sorts of tests to make sure that every one of them clean? Well, this would be a big thing for Russia. This seems to be, well, no one's looking to catch them. Let's put it that way. At least not that I can see. Excuse me. Now, who is making a statement about this? Well, besides some of the other athletes who are now commentators, United States sprinter Shakari Richardson made a statement, more like a question, which is why is she allowed to compete? Shakari Richardson took a 1-month suspension because she tested positive for cannabis in last July. She said cannabis after her mother died, but this was in July, and she took a suspension. She was not allowed to compete. She's not out. She's not in. This kid who tested positive in December, certainly a lot closer than July, is allowed to compete. Well, Shakari Richardson is saying there's only one reason why, and of course, it becomes the black and white issue. But I still really want to know is why is this girl competing? Not quite sure why anybody would want to do this to a 15-year-old kid, put her in this kind of spot. But this is what's going on. And even if she wins gold, there will be no ceremony right away. They have to go through the world anti-doping agencies, the Russian anti-doping agencies. They have to talk to a lot of people and do a lot of hearings, testings, and whatever else. Then again, if it's happening with one Russian athlete, you sort of have to look at every Russian athlete. It's the country's team. Your country's team is going in all the sports, they're all going. So this is going to lead to a bigger thing, I have to imagine, than one skater who is very good at what she does. And for all we know, this, whatever it is she took, didn't affect her at all, but she may be paying the price for it overall, because as I always say, no matter what the adults do, the kids always pick up the check. And she may be picking up this check. That is what's going on. Keep up with the Olympics, pay attention. Some of the action is really good. No, I am not watching curling, although I do turn it on when there's no other coverage going on. But curling is not my idea of fun. But I gotta tell you, they are flexible. Just watch that stuff. Anyway, so if no one's been paying attention to the news, well, the Canadian government broke up the protests at the border, at the bridge on the Canadian side. The police went in there, got rid of everything, pretty much broke it up. But that's old news, because What I was laughing at today was, let me start with this one here. It says hundreds of protesters descended upon New Zealand's Parliament building to fight against COVID-19 vaccine mandates. All right, same issue, vaccine mandates. And they were met with the smooth sounds of Barry Manilow. Well, the police blasted a 15-minute loop of Manilow's upbeat pop songs, as well as Macarena and other music to try to disperse the protesters. And that's according to the BBC. The tactic was a brainchild, it says, of Parliament Speaker Trevor Mallard, who decided to blast music after using sprinklers to discourage the protesters didn't want. It didn't work. That's because the protesters brought ponchos, they stood on the piping, they came prepared. So anyway, but you can't prepare for Barry Manilow. At least for a while, it broke people up. They couldn't take it. What was he singing? Mandy, and Could It Be Magic? So yes, Barry to the rescue. Like it worked on New Year's Eve when the storm came last year, and there was Barry to the rescue. Ah, that is funny. I like that one. There's no real particular order to my stories. I'm always wondering what makes, when the cancel culture committee gets together for their quarterly board meeting and decides who's in and who's out, who we should get rid of next. So some of the stories, one of them, Adele got an award last Tuesday, and it used to be best male artist, best female artist. Well, it just says best artist. So Adele wins best artist, album, song of the year. She cleaned up. And in one of those speeches, she told everyone that she loves being a woman, loves being a female artist. And she says, I'm proud of us. I really, really am. Well, this set the internet off in the trans community and any other community that wanted to have a say in it, because Adele said she was proud of being a woman. So Adele's proud of being a woman. Isn't it good enough she makes great music and you enjoyed listening to it all before she said this one sentence, I'm proud of being a woman? Isn't that good enough? That she, as talented as she is, do you really care if she's proud of herself or not? I would hope she is. She's getting on stage every night. I would hope that she is. I would like to think that anybody with the testicular fortitude, the testicular fortitude to get up on stage and perform in front of you should be proud of themselves in any way, shape, and form. I don't care if you're proud of playing the guitar left-handed. I don't care if you're proud of playing a left-handed guitar with your right hand or with your foot, or you're male or female or tall or short. I don't care what the reason is. You should be proud of yourself and just don't worry about it. Well, Adele doesn't worry about it. Everybody else does. But then there are certain times, and I never thought I would ever say the words, Ted Cruz has a point. I can't believe I'm saying that. But it came up again. It came up again in 1990. It came up again. Well, because, we all know what was going on with Joe Rogan. Excuse me, I had to take a drink. I had something salty for lunch. Well, we all know about Joe Rogan, use that word on this show, and people, should they cancel him? Should this, should that? You know what's going on. Well, in 1993, it came up again to bite him in the backside. Howard Stern did a blackface routine where he is supposedly doing a parody, or what does he call it, lampooning Ted Danson, who at that time was dating Whoopi Goldberg. Well, Whoopi's always was in the news recently also, so Okay. Well, now it's Howard Stern did a blatant blackface routine with the late actor Sherman Hemsley, who's playing Whoopi Goldberg, and he is using every word you should never say, every last thing you should never say. And he did this in a routine in 1993, which was brought up again in 1990. And of course, Howard said the right things, but whatever, it went away. He's Howard Stern. And Ted Cruz is bringing it up today. you want to get rid of one, but not the other. And why isn't anyone getting rid of Howard Stern except what did Ted say? That he kisses the behinds of those in power. Well, maybe Howard Stern does. I'm not really too up on, not really too much up on where his lips go. But yes, I have seen this video many times. I have seen, I don't get why he would have pulled this off. But why he tried to pull this off. But what I'm even wondering is what is the criteria of being canceled? I mean, where's the bar set? You know what I'm trying to say? Where's the bar? Yeah. What's the level of what you have to do to be canceled today? Today, I mean, people. Listen, let's see, we left the studio in 20 near the end of what 2020. No, near the end, yeah, like February 2020. So in 2019, I was talking a lot about what was going on at Bowling Green State University when they renamed the theater that was named after the late screen actresses, the silent film actresses, Lillian and Dorothy Gish. It was the Gish Theater. And Lillian Gish was 104 years prior in the movie Birth of a Nation, the D.W. Griffith movie Birth of a Nation. She was a contract player for the studio. Her job was to play a nurse for the Union Army in a segment of the film, which is a very long film. At that time, very elaborate production. And some brilliant camera work along the way. But for the nature of the story, we all know it's been locked in as a movie that's built much on racism. Anyway, 104 years later on, this student body decided to cancel Lillian Gish or Dorothy Gish, but the Gish Theater. And they renamed it to whatever they renamed it to. That's 104 years prior. Here we are today. So here we are now. But there are people who don't get canceled. Like I say, Howard Stern, I'm reading a story, it's all over the internet now. I'm looking right at it. He can't even say I didn't do it. And he worked out just fine. I remember seeing, as much as I love the comedy team of Laurel and Hardy, they did a blackface scene, not so much as like you would think in the old phrase of a minstrel show. They were playing a scene where they're hiding from the law or whatever, and they're in some small little town, some town by a river, or whatever it is. And to blend in, they took mud, they put it all over their hands, and the face, whatever. And now they are in blackface. Well, no one's gotten around to that, but I wouldn't want to cancel Laurel and Hardy. They were a brilliant comedy team. I wouldn't want to cancel Howard Stern. He's a brilliant, yeah. But it seems that people who get canceled are for so much less, wear the wrong shoes, say the wrong thing, yeah, don't agree with every last thing you hear, you got to be canceled. Don't agree with every last person you see, you got to be canceled. Yeah, so this is not uncommon anymore, but it's just so selective. And I'm wondering, what's the rule book? I mean, we're doing this for a while now. What is the rule book? What do I got to say and do to get canceled? Not to insult somebody, but to have everyone say, I want to cancel. Obviously, yeah, there are certain things you should never say, but some get away with it. So I'm just wondering, if you want to be taken seriously, what's the rule of thumb? What's the where's the bar set? How bad do you have to be? And who should be bad enough? But then again, there are times when the cancel culture goes out. They try to cancel Clint Eastwood a while back. You can't cancel Clint. That doesn't work. But I'm still wondering, is a general rule, what is the bar? I like to keep the bar high. And the bar somehow looks like not a straight line. It looks like a cardiogram. It goes up and down and up and down and up and down until you find wherever it is. So yeah, well, I never thought Ted Cruz would ever have a point. That's even worse than the story itself. What else is going on? Let's see. There's a lot going on, actually. Odd end things. I got something I can show you later on. Uh, oh, as I was saying, the Super Bowl was on this week. I'm not sure who was there and who wasn't, but if you were there and you were lucky enough to pay that vast price for a ticket, you also got to shell out $17 from Michelob Ultra, while craft variety like Kona costs $19 a beer. But if you wanted to go cheap, you can get a Bud Light for 13. Can you believe that? If you want to get, want beer and you want some regular liquor, a couple of shots, well, $14 for De Leon tequila, Smirnoff vodka, Captain Morgan rum, Crown Royal, Cuervo, and oh, and some of the higher levels like Don Julio Blanco, Kettle One, Johnny Walker Black, all started at 17 a shot. Oh my, 17 for a drink. Damn, that's also, I'm looking at these prices. I don't know how anyone goes. A can of Pepsi costs $7. Can you believe this? You wanted Life Water for 6 or Aquafina for 5? How much did a hot dog go for here? A bag of Frito-Lays cost you $5. Hot dog was 5. A soft pretzel was 4. A cheese pizza was 15. It was a little like, was it 8-inch, whatever it is? I think because they're not delivering a big one to you. So yeah, you can get a pizza of 15. Pepperoni was 2. Okay, there you go. The wow. Yeah, house blend meatballs at 20. Who thinks of these prices? A chocolate chip cookie for $7. Who thinks of this stuff? Damn. No wonder I don't go to games anymore. I have to hit a lottery just to get like parking fee. Oh man, what can I say? Where did everybody else watch the game at? What was on your Super Bowl menu? Why don't you email me at upfrontfrank@gmail.com, or leave a comment on the YouTube page or on the Facebook page and tell us what you did for the Super Bowl and what food was being served. Now, most people like to go with the wings, wings, nachos, things like that. My personal thing is always not, well, the guy on the motorcycle is not delivering to me. I go for the 6-foot hero type of thing myself. It's neater. Anyway, I like that better. But everybody has their thing. Okay, let's see. So once again, I'm hearing another dating app problem. And I got this. This was posted yet a couple of days ago on the 12th. It says dating app con artists swindled Americans out of $547 million in 2021. Yeah, what's the first line? They jerks steal your heart and everything else you own. And this is a lot of people will spend, well, they'll be let down for Valentine's Day because they lost all their money. It says the lovelorn were grifted out of $547 million by dating app scammers last year, in a shocking 78% increase over the previous record $307 million in losses in 2020. And that's according to the Federal Trade Commission. The number of reported cases climbed from 33,000 to 56,000, or 70% over the same year. And this was, I'm not quite, actually, I'm not even going to name one person, because it's just, I could say one woman in Florida says she was taken for $100 grand by some guy on the app OkCupid, who claimed to be widowed father and oil industry contractor from Australia. That's pretty good. Well, do you really think an oil industry contractor needs to go on a dating app? But okay, either way, someone's on a dating app. Why? Why would anyone want to meet anyone on an app, a dating app? I don't get it. You meet, and this isn't just women to men, this is meant to be anybody. You see people all the time. Stop and talk. Show a little interest. You think you're getting somewhere from some story of contrived perfection that if you don't agree with them perfectly every minute of every sentence of every day, you're not going to be blocked or rejected or declined or thrown the hell out. The idea is they present you with the best possible look. All those, I mean, when you first go onto any app, what do you see? Picture. You're directed to a picture. Even if you put in the information, what are you looking for? Blonde, green eyes, whatever, brown, long hair, short hair, whatever it is. They send you to a list of pictures. Now you're looking at a photograph. Providing the photographs are real, there's no guarantee they're current. And some of them are so touched up, so artificial. It's a lie. It's just a lie. And now you're meeting the real thing, and they don't look the way you want. The stories aren't the same as what you heard, and it's all a lie. You're looking to have romances with these people. It doesn't work. And in cases like this, this is what happens when your cell phone becomes your life. You think they're your friends, and somehow these guys are got some woman to give up 100 grand. And so many people are so good at playing victim that you give them money. And yeah, I mean, I'll be honest about this. I'll tell you the truth. I mean, I'm not dating anyone. Somehow that area of life eluded me. That's okay. It's not like I've never gone on a date. It's not like I don't know people, but it's the way it worked out. A red light. This is why the world is my prop. That may be my date who doesn't know that we're not going out. But anyway, so you meet people all the time. And I can tell you that I would rather be rejected live and in person than be lied to on an app. And then get together somewhere, usually at expense, because not everybody lives in the same city. Sometimes you're traveling to get there. Sometimes you're just looking to find wherever it is you think you're meeting. And then who knows what the real story is until you actually get there. And just take a chance. You're seeing people in person all the time. Talk to them, get to know them. If they're going to ask you out, if you're giving you a hint that they want you to ask them out, you know, go for a drink, buy a cup of coffee, talk to each other. At least you're in front of each other. This on an app, I wish I could say I had sympathy, but I can't. I just can't have sympathy for anybody who would give money just like that to someone on an app. And don't get me wrong. I know people on app sites, through Facebook, through wherever, old friends, people I'm talking to a couple of years. Yes, I've sent people a cheesecake. I've done, whatever it is. But I'm not sending anyone cash like that. Not 100 grand. No. It's just the way it is. It's ridiculous. And this is what goes on in the land of the lonely. They just don't talk to people. They don't have real life skill. I don't know how old this person was, obviously, but real life skills, social skills are fading fast. And the guy that coined the Tinder swindler, I like this one, the Tinder swindler, he has a career of, name is Shimon Hyatt, who's known as Simon Leviev, excuse me, I can't get that right. He allegedly defrauded victims, that's what it says, allegedly defrauded victims around the world out of $10 million by claiming to be the son of an Israeli diamond industry tycoon. He got one woman from Norway for $500,000 American. Well, I'm sort of curious. Does the son of an Israeli diamond industry tycoon really need your money? And why would anybody fall for this crap? But anyway, so, get off this. Don't date. Don't use dating apps. Go out there, meet people, talk to them. You may like what you hear. Someone's going to make you laugh. And don't think so much with your eyes. Your eyes will lie. In certain cases, your eyes will lie. What else is going on? Let's see. Oh, I was reading this one yesterday. The New York police are seeking an alleged shoplifter who punched a Dwayne Reed worker in the face. The guy they're searching for is 40 years old. He went into a store, went to the freezer. This is up in Morningside Heights. Um, yeah, went in there Friday at 10:30, started taking stuff from the freezer, putting them in the bag. The 21-year-old woman who worked in the store told him to put the items back. He supposedly punched her in the face, grabbed her hair, and threw her to the ground. This looks like a pretty decent sized guy. Yeah, 6 feet, 200 pounds. Left the store, so on and so on and so on. Well, they're going to look for him. Maybe they'll find him, maybe not. But what's the difference? With bails the way they are, people getting out for nothing, you know, I don't know that it'll matter if they catch him. But yeah, they'll be looking. Got that Crime Stoppers number on the screen. All right, what else is going on here? Let's see. What else is going on? Speaking of borders and problems, I got this yesterday. The United States has suspended Mexican avocado imports after a threat to the inspector. Comes out of Mexico City. I got this on NBC News. Mexico has acknowledged that the U.S. government has suspended all imports of Mexican avocados after the United States plant safety inspector in Mexico received a threat. Okay, I'm not quite sure why anyone is threatening the inspector. I'm not quite sure. I don't see what it's over, what started it, but now we're not getting anything in this country, at least not from there. And if nothing else, it'll hurt, in the meantime, the Mexican government. Avocados, big import, big export, big import. I'm not quite sure what the yeah, that's it. Problems down there, and now we're not getting anything, at least for now. Maybe they'll clear up the problem and business will go back to usual. Yeah, I was looking for something, but that's not there. So that's what's going on with our avocado supply. Watch the prices go up. That's all you gotta know. Watch the prices go up. Speaking of prices going up, I'm reading about, Tom Brady retired after his loss a couple of weeks ago. His last pass was a touchdown. And I'm reading that his last touchdown football he threw, could get $1 million at auction. Yeah. If that ball goes to auction, it says between 500 and up to $1 million, I guess. Higher, closer to $1 million. That is what's going on in the world of Tom Brady. I'm going to miss him playing. He really is the best quarterback that ever played. This is a guy who was like the 6th round draft pick, number 99 pick, or whatever number he was. He was sitting on the sideline. He was like the emergency quarterback. Anyway, he was a sideline quarterback, a backup quarterback to then starter Drew Bledsoe on the New England Patriots. And one day Drew got hurt, so they brought in Tom Brady. Bledsoe never went back to play, never got his job back. That's what happens, right? That is what happens. Let's see what else is going on. Let's talk about canceling and back to canceling and being upset about this or that or what someone's doing for nothing. The redo of Death on the Nile is coming out. And 2 Middle East countries are banning the movie because Gal Gadot was in the Israeli military. Well, she was in the IDF and she's in the movie. So Lebanon and Kuwait are blocking the movie from their country. I think it's ridiculous myself, but right, all right. Lebanon also blocked her Wonder Woman films. Well, at least they're consistent. But yeah, that was it. She served in the military for 2 years, as required of all young Israelis. Okay, well, there you go. Okay, she did her bit. And now Lebanon and Kuwait are blocking the movie. Okay, good for them. I don't think Gal really cares either way. What else? Let's see. The New York Times bought Wordle. That big word game that everyone's playing everywhere you go now? A lot like Boggle or other word games. But the New York Times has it. People are whining and bitching that it became too difficult because the New York Times is known for difficult when it comes to their word games. Their crossword puzzle is always harder than everyone else's, especially the Sunday Times. The London Times really especially difficult, considering not everybody knows all the phrasing of the English. But yeah, New York Times always has a more difficult game to play. And now people are very upset that Wordle has become more difficult to play, and they're not playing, and they want to. It's a word game. It's supposed to be difficult. What is that? That's ridiculous. Please, it's not everything must be simple. Good. Challenge yourself. Learn a new word. It won't hurt you. Learn a new word. That's all it is. It's the New York Times. It's supposed to put you to the test. Be tested. You won't die from a word game. And you especially won't die if you can't figure out every last word. Enjoy it for what it is and have a good time with it. People really need to relax with this stuff. Oh, man. I'm telling you, it's getting difficult out there. Don't get me started. It's getting difficult out there. It really is. Because people are really getting very soft in their old age in the young age, actually, about whatever it is that's making them upset. I'm looking around the paper as I'm talking today. I won't say caught on short notice, but I was a little preoccupied. So I didn't get all the stories I wanted. But, turns out today that former Governor Sarah Palin lost her defamation of suit against the New York Times when the judge tossed the case for, I think, insufficient evidence or whatever the case was. Matter of fact, the judge is recommending dismissal even before the jury comes in. So the judge is just tossing the case. Well, poor Sarah. What's this? Oh, AOC is in the news today. What is she talking about? Her new thing, and I'm looking at the New York Post. Well, can I say it's the website I'm on? It seems that she's blaming crime surge on child tax credit ending. Calls Congress a shit show. I'm not so sure that's the reason. I can't tell you what is the reason for all the crime, but somehow I'm reasonably sure that a tax credit isn't it. Far be it from me to, question it, but it's something just doesn't make sense. Well, anyway, that's what's going on. It's a tax credit problem. Give them back their tax credit, and all the people out here who I'm seeing robbing one store or another, beating whoever at the Dwayne Reed or whatever else they're doing, they won't do it anymore because you're letting them take off the tax credit. All right, well, good for her. She knows her stuff. Not every last thing that people say is the right thing. I have been known to say the wrong thing on occasion also. Let's see. What else is going on? Oh, I almost forgot. Since most of the world really wants to use credit cards, you know how that goes. No one carries cash anymore. I got my little bonus check from Capital One. Yeah, I got my bonus check from my little bonus receipt from Capital One, and I don't remember the last time I got one of these things, but they sent me a whopping, a fortune is $2.16. $2.16. I cannot tell you when I got the last one. I know it's over a year ago. Um, and it's not that I'm spending billions of dollars every month on the thing, but yeah, I spent enough money over last year. And of course, they bang you out for interest every month. And if sometimes I do forget and it gets there late, and they're happy to charge you a late fee also. So they got you for interest, compounded interest, a late fee, your premium, the regular check, and everything else. And they sent me $2.16. So yes, like a million other people in the past, I have had a little credit card problem. But for all of you waiting for your bonuses, all of you waiting for whatever reason you're waiting for it, if you're waiting for a check like this, don't. Don't. It'll be better on you to sit there and spend cash because, especially if you're getting paid and it's deposited into your account, bring something. Of course, there are times when a credit card is needed. Of course, there are. But if you're simply using it for every bottle of water you buy, don't. Because all you're going to have to do is write a bigger check. If you don't pay it off right away, you'll have interest. Then you'll have to pay more money than you realized. And all of a sudden, you have a $2.16 check. So be careful with all of that, please, because banks, credit cards, they're not doing you a favor. This check here, this check doesn't buy me a bottle of doesn't buy me a bottle of soda. Certainly doesn't buy my coffee in the morning. Yeah, so be very careful with all of that. And everything else is going pretty well this week. I'll be watching the Olympics again. There's always something waiting for the downhill and the Super G. I love the ski events. Keeping up with the world of figure skating, I always like watching that also. Very graceful. I wish I could do that, but I was never good at ice skating to begin with. Forget figure skating. Never had the figure for it either, by the way. Jay, do you ice skate? Jay doesn't ice skate. You rollerblade? Do you roller skate? No, she's just shaking her head. No, no. So now, no, I don't ice skate. Wish I did. I grew up next to a famous rink in Coney Island, the Ape Stock ice skating rink. But I never really had the ankles for it. Always had bad ankles. But yeah, I will be keeping track of what's going on in the Olympics to see what goes on with this athlete, what their story is, what this song and dance is. I do like watching the downhill ski events. They're always interesting to me. I like ski jumping a lot. That's always pretty cool. But again, so let's recap what's going on. We want to have a steady bar, at least I'm requesting a definite criteria listing of what can get you canceled, not because you said the wrong thing on Tuesday, but not on Wednesday. Um, Not because you're more popular than I am, so I have to go. Not because of a lot of things. Just I want to know what it is that gets people canceled and what does not. And if two people doing the same thing, one is wrong and one is not, I'd like to know why. I'd like to know why that is, because something doesn't seem too right about it. Yeah, you both did, but one of you got to take the blame. So anyway, that never helps. Again, please, we're on our YouTube channel. Please hit the subscribe button. Follow us on skiescrescentradio.com, SKYES. Check out trainwalkers.com. Trainwalkers, they're always talking about their music and where they're going to go and what they're going to do. And it's Valentine's Day. So guys, girls, take your special someone out tonight, especially if you're listening to me in the West Coast. You got plenty of time. Matter of fact, don't even go crazy. Do something simple. Go out, get a pizza. No, not the cheesy heart-shaped pizza that everybody else gets. Just go get something simple. Bring it home. Tell the other one not to worry about it. You got this. All right, that's all you got. Go get an easy bottle of wine or your favorite thing to drink, whatever it may be, hard or soft, and just, let someone know that you care about them. That sort of works for me. It doesn't take much. Matter of fact, the favorite gifts I ever got came more out of gesture than out of what I perceived the monetary value to be. Gesture, it's like the thought that counts. Well, even the thought takes a little thought. And that goes to Valentine's Day also, actually. And President's Day is another sale. Even the thought, where are you going to shop this coming week? President's Day sale is coming soon. You know, decide where you want to shop that day. But back to Valentine's Day, take a few minutes and make whoever it is sitting next to you and sleeping next to you or calling you because they love you to make them feel good today. And everything else is going pretty well. And this looks like we're going to do sort of a short show today because really, what's going on in the world. The one thing I'm getting a kick out of is I'm listening to the news outlets before we go. And all I'm hearing is the same headline 3-4 days in a row. Russian invasion of Ukraine is imminent. It could happen at any time. Anytime. It's imminent. Any day now. I'm hearing this for almost a week. I don't want to see a war. I don't want to see any of that stuff. But it's the same headline for a week. You might as well make the weather sound important. It'll be light 12 hours. We know that already. It'll be dark 12 hours later. I know that also. We know all these things. So let's keep up with the news. Yeah. See what's going on. Be a little interested. At least you're up to date in case you meet that special someone in the street instead of on a dating app. And just be ready to engage in conversation at all times. And then when you go, if you wind up lucky enough to go out, be prepared for anything to happen, including nothing. Nothing is part of anything. So go out, have a good time, have good conversations with other people, stay off of dating apps, and like everyone else, just do the best you can. And check out Jade on her TikTok channel. She's getting refocused on that these days. Go at Jade Zabrick on TikTok. She'll be out there doing something with her music, setting herself up, showing you what she's got. And maybe, just maybe, she'll make it. She'll be a hit, another star. We'll find out. Anyway, I do keep track of her on there. I like to know what my people are doing, and you should too. All right, everyone, it's 10 minutes before the hour. That means I'm about 5 to 7 minutes short, but that's okay too. That means if you get ready for a 6 o'clock show, you got a few minutes to throw your jacket on. All right, everyone, it's been fun talking to you as always. Keep up with those stories. Keep the bar high, people. Level and high. It does not mean your friend is over here, your enemy is up here, and we don't know somewhere about here. It means the bar is high, and that's to everything. All right. Sometimes even your friends aren't good enough today. It's not that bad. Sometimes it just works out that way. Anyway, you take care of yourselves. I will see you next week. And that is the story. Have a good night, gang.